Welcome to the World E-Commerce Forum right here in Istanbul and the Amazon Sellers Society stage. During these 3 days, we've hosted experts, speakers, guests, panelists from all over the Amazon space right here on our stage. Now, I'm going to give you behind-the-scenes look at some of the service providers, how they got there, what their tips are for you as an Amazon seller. So let's go. So, Angelos, how did you get your job, your current job?
Right, so basically it was a very complex process because I had to move from my previous academic process whereby we're dealing with a lot of energy, international politics aspects. So we thought the main focus actually, because it was becoming a little bit too political for that time back in 2010-11. So I thought probably as I was focusing more on cross-border taxation, it was making more sense to actually focus on the e-commerce side, as there was a lot of interest back then for people to switch over to more self-sustained kind of income processes, for people to expand, internationally and actually learn how the international marketplaces actually work. So it's been a great journey back then until today. I would say Amazon gives a great opportunity for everybody to do that. And, having one of these ladies, especially being in the Middle East, make things much, much easier.
Well, Crystal, I started selling on Amazon in 2007. And in 2017, I invented a product. And I found that inventing a product was actually very tough. It wasn't really a clear path. And even though I'm an MBA and, I'm a very educated woman, I was very frustrated with that. So I decided to make it my mission to figure out the path from concept to launch and help as many other people as I could along the way. And that's how Amazing at Home was born.
So I applied for an apprenticeship at Unicon at 2018, and I finished it 2 years ago now, and now I'm just working in operations.
By me, I'm since 18 years by Unicon, and I started after 3 years experience in Turkey in the textile branch. So then started at Unicon since 2005, and I'm looking for business in logistics from Turkey, from Far East, and that's it.
Richard, Amy, I'm going to start with Richard. Richard, how did you become Safari Star?
Well, actually, we were Amazon sellers to begin with. And then at one point, we were finding the competition hard. We were gauging a lot of groups like yourself, trying to learn more. And somebody came to us and said, hey, they actually came to Amy and they said, Amy, we need to register VAT in UK. Do you know anyone? Can you help us? We can't find anyone. And she was like, well, yeah, I can help you. I can hook you up with our accountant. And, we can help you out. And he was like, well, actually, I got 20 clients that need it. And we're like, oh, wow, yeah, we can. And then the idea sparked, like, yeah, we can do this. And then we slowly started building off of that. And actually what it was Amazon sending out a message to all its seller community saying, hey, guys, if you don't register that by the 1st of January 2017, we're going to suspend your accounts. So suddenly all these Chinese sellers, mainly, like 100,000 of them, were looking everywhere quickly to find somebody to register VAT for them in UK. But obviously, because they're cross-border, they're nowhere near UK. So for them, it was really challenging. So they came to us, and because we understand Amazon really well, we saw that as a really good business opportunity. So then I hired Amy to be my personal assistant. No, not really. Amy took the whole thing, and a month later, we had an office in China. And 3 months later, we had a fully operational business running.
So, a lot of our viewers are maybe potentially looking to get started on Amazon or are current Amazon sellers. But what do you find, if you've got so much experience, you help and support so many sellers, what do you find is the most common, you have to choose one, most common mistake that Amazon sellers make?
Yeah, so the most common mistake that Amazon sellers make is that they don't understand, before they launch a product, they don't understand why the customer will buy theirs and not their competition's. If you can't answer that question and you don't know where your biggest page one opportunity is, you're destined to fail because you're destined to lose to your competition. So you must know before you launch a product, you must understand and must be able to answer with confidence why the customer will buy yours and not the competition.
Well, the most common mistake is usually this one. Amazon invites vendors on board for Vendor Central, and Amazon doesn't have the care that they should to get the vendors on board, meaning that they don't give a training for the finance contact or the sales contact, and it's everything super complex inside. So the error that companies do is to believe that they can have someone internally to manage that account with no experience. And part of Blue Dot, what I do is to help companies to source, if we need, to source talent for the cross-functional team. And when we source someone, to train him, to set up the cross-functional team from sales, logistics, and finance. That's the most common mistake, is to believe that Amazon Vendor Central is a client like all the others they have.
Actually, one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen, and I've done this myself because I've been an Amazon seller for so many years, is try to do everything yourself. Okay? As Amazon sellers, it's a great thing. It's a great thing because you can run your business on it. But it can also be your biggest mistake to try to do every trade on your own. You know what they say, jack of all trades, a professional none, or whatever they go. Something like that, right? So you want to leave some of the professional stuff to the professionals. So if you, for example, you're selling in many countries all over the world, right? If you try to learn the VAT compliance or the tax rules for every single country, you're going to lose a lot of time and you will never learn it clearly anyway. So you're going to spend time, and time is money. Time you could be spending to build new products and grow new ventures and do all sorts of things, develop your brand, engage with your clients. Instead, you try to spend time to learn something that is not going to be useful for you.
Lots of everyone who watches our channel is an entrepreneur. Either they're selling on Amazon and they want to expand, or they're looking into maybe starting an Amazon business.
Yeah.
But, Amazon is becoming very competitive. Do you still think that Amazon is a real opportunity for brands, businesses, even sellers that are just wanting to start out? Is it still an opportunity for all of those sellers?
I would say, yeah, absolutely. Amazon is the best kind of place to build funnels for your business. I would say a lot of customers, they want to actually have that kind of, they need to be seen that there is that kind of presence in through your own website, etc. But definitely Amazon is the place whereby you need to funnel your traffic through and channel your presence through to actually drive even more sales. But I would say learn Amazon, understand how it works, and try to capitalize on that kind of exposure that the marketplace can offer to you. I think that's really, really important.
Yes, I have clients that are launching their very first product, and we're making sure that it's profitable. We're making sure that they know exactly why it will sell beyond their competition. And they're doing very profitably $800,000, $900,000, up to $1 million in their first year with Amazon. So I'm still seeing to this day that it is a very profitable and opportunistic business to get into.
I truly believe that Vendor Central is the way for brands, for manufacturers. We need to split here the two big business of Amazon, Seller Central and Vendor Central. So Seller Central, you just open your account, you do your own business. You basically use Amazon platform to do your business. Vendor Central is super different. It's by invitation only to start. So Amazon will approach brands and manufacturers to invite them on board. You cannot approach Amazon to be a vendor. Amazon will always approach you. There's a few ways that you can get into Amazon radar, but it's never sure. Amazon will always make the decision to approach any vendors or future vendors for them. I truly believe it's the perfect place for brands and manufacturers, because if you think about that, vendor is supplying Amazon directly. So Amazon only considers, on Jeff Bezos' words, long-term partnerships. So you're an Amazon partner. And if you are an Amazon partner and you know how to do it, if you have the good team internally trained to speak the language that Amazon speaks, Amazon will get your brand from this and it will help you scale. Just think about Amazon vendor you start with one country, but 2 years later you're supplying 14 countries because Amazon internally will help you to do that. And you will receive an invitation from Singapore, an invitation from Mexico, and if you do it right, it will happen. Amazon will be your partner for your brand.
Let me just explain.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. That's it. Thank you very much.
Let me just explain two things for that. So you have the US, you have the European Union, you have UAE. Depending on your budget and depending what you want to do, really, there is where you go. So, for example, when you're a beginner, I would really recommend the UAE because it's a low entry level. I mean, it's a bit pricey, yes, but you can learn so much. And from this marketplace, you can, for example, jump in the European Union or jump in the US. But if you have a big budget, go directly to the US, build a brand before, obviously. Don't go without a brand, and that's it. So you have 3 steps. You have either the US, the EU, or the Middle East if you want to begin with. So yes, there is a big opportunity. Please do it, really. Very important.
Yes, because the future is the people are much more comfortable. That means they don't go shopping.
Yeah.
That means you sit in front your laptop, your iPhone or your mobile phone and start to order these and from Amazon or other platforms. And that's why that's the future. And I don't think that will be end. They will grow up.
So what are you waiting for?
Exactly. What are you waiting for? Let's go.